Last time on Edgeworth Investigations.
Mr. Bad, just test out this perfume for me.
Okay, just drinks it. Done. My insides feel like a bunch of butterflies caressing my naked body.
Alright then.
You know what, screw it. We'll just record all the way till the end of the case.
Objection!
I don't know how long that's gonna take, or even if my voice will hold out, but I'm too excited to stop. Like, I wanna know what happened. I wanna know which character is gonna be stuck in jail forever for being a super murderer. I mean, it's probably gonna be Callisto, to be honest, but I really don't want it to be. I don't want it to be anyone. Can't it just be the guy who was just molesting the drinking fountain earlier? Okay, what are you doing here?
Oh, hello, mister. I'm still investigating.
But the object you're looking for is already... Okay, don't mind him. Please continue with your investigation.
Okay, you got it.
Detective Bad, haven't we already found what you were looking for? If it means I can keep her in the dark just a little longer, any little task will do. Aw. She's just like, oh my god, it feels so bad for her. Oh, you're more sympathetic than I thought. I've been waiting for you, Edgeworth. A lot of ladies say that. I've also been waiting for the moment in which we can finally lay this case to rest.
The moment in which we can finally lay this case to rest? Wasn't that when we placed Detective Gumshoe under arrest? I think we've more than solved this case already, don't you?
We'll see. It all depends on whether or not your logic holds.
Oh, I see we even have a viewer in the gallery. And why even Mr. Bad is here? A viewer in the gallery? I'm hardly just a bystander.
I have a duty to see this case through to the end. No matter how bad it turns out.
Oh, is that right? Anyway, I thought you might like to hear what I've slaved away to find out. I've taken statements on every single person's movements. During the time when our suspect was in the hallway, I also confirmed that there's no possibility route of escape from lobby number 2. Therefore, the killer must, without a doubt, be Detective Gumshoe.
You mean you stood in that room watching that guy for all that time, and that's all you found out? That's all you found out, is that the windows were barred and there was a door and there's no other way out. I was talking to Detective Bad for like 30 minutes. All you did was stand there watching that guy dust and be like, I bet there's a way out of this room. Jesus, you don't know how to do your job, apparently. And that's all you have? Yeah, exactly, Edgeworth.
Yeah, that's all there is to my conclusion, and this case.
Sorry, but I beg to differ. In a trial, there's always time for a rebuttal, and we are standing in a court of law. It'd be more than appropriate to follow the rules of the court in this case, don't you think?
How absolutely like a rookie to think such a thing. But alright, I'll play along, and I'll give you a proper testimony.
My logic is correct, then I've already won. All I have to do now is prove it by showing who the real killer is. The real killer is Maya.
Everyone, Sans the suspect? Sans. I've never actually heard that term used.
I'm gonna look what that means on Google right now. BRB.
Okay, so sans actually means without. I've never known that before. Fun word to use.
Oh, that makes so much sense. Oh my god, sans serif, type fonting. No one's ever explained that. Like, they explained the difference between serif and sans serif, but they never say what sans actually means. And it means without serif, which means without the freaking, little ends on the whatever. I'm learning things now, okay? Ace Attorney teaches you and saves lives.
Everyone, sans the suspect has an alibi for when the gun went off. Furthermore, the areas around the crime scene have all been thoroughly investigated, right? I've also confirmed that there's no possible escape route from lobby number 2. Which leaves us with one unshakable conclusion, that Detective Gumshoe is the killer.
Wow, she seems really desperate to pin this on Gumshoe.
Now that you have your testimony, I expect a good rebuttal, Edgeworth.
But of course. I'll never disappoint a lady with my rebuttal.
There is no need to confront her logic head-on right now. I should instead focus on drawing out any trump cards she has up her sleeve. Misuse argument. Everyone, sans the suspect, has... No. Oh, yeah, that's true, but... We're going to have to press her, aren't we? I don't see any other thing we can do except for press her. But I'm not sure. Is this really... Yeah, all we can do is press her, so let's go. The suspect, but I thought that Detective Gumshoe's alibi had already been proven. Are you joking, Edgeworth? I assure you this is no joke. Look, I know you heard from the judge earlier, but that detective was in the hallway with Mr. Faraday's daughter eating a Swiss roll. Yes, that is correct. But see, that was 20 minutes before the real gunshot went off, right? And the problem is there's no one else who can corroborate what he did since the snacking. The snackening. The snacking. I see she's done her research well, which means that I should focus on drawing out whatever trump card she's withholding. Whether they have been thoroughly investigated or not is for me to decide. The scrunched eyebrows and the lines on your forehead are back. Anyway, even if you believe it hasn't been exhaustive, the crime scene lobby number 2 has no way out other than the hallway Detective Gumshoe was standing in. And because he claimed to be there, that makes him the only possible suspect. But isn't it also possible that someone escaped through a window into the garden? That's the first place everyone looks, silly. The police aren't a bunch of lazy bums. They looked into every possibility, you know. Isn't that right, Mr. Bad? Yeah, probably. I was just looking out the window the whole time, thinking about life. There wasn't a scrap of evidence to suggest someone used one of the windows. There also weren't any footprints or anything in the courtyard garden. Suppose they really did check everything that could be relevant to the case. I also confirmed that there is no possible escape route from lobby number 2. That's a lie. Just kidding. If I were in there, I could have just broken those bars with my bare hands. Edgeworthzilla coming to theaters near you. Are you absolutely positive that there is no possible routes of escape? Of course I'm sure. And why are you so certain? This is a courthouse, the place where criminals are brought in to be judged. If there were an escape route, I'm sure every criminal would be using it to escape. It's just common sense. Miles Edgeworth, I suggest use a bit more of it in the future. Which leaves us with one unshakable conclusion that Detective Gumshoe is the killer. Wait, no, I didn't mean to skip that. I wanted to press it because I have literally no idea what else to do. And it made it sound when Edgeworth said that statement that we're gonna have to push all of her trump cards out of the way. That we just have to press everything she had. You may think it's unshakable, but to me there are still too many unanswered questions. For example, who was it that placed the gun in Mr. Faraday's hand? But you're the only one still wondering that. Detective Gumshoe probably, which had no idea which hand Mr. Faraday used to write with. Even if you know someone, it doesn't mean you'll know which hand they write with, right? I mean, I certainly don't care about that sort of thing. Look how bulky Edgeworth is compared to her. Like, Christ. I'm not about to let her get a rise out of me with such a flippant statement. I suppose we've really reached the end now. I already have my trump card ready. All that remains is to play it. But before I do, I think I should inquire into a little something about her argument. You said earlier that you confirmed the alibis of every person other than the suspect. However, I don't recall either Francisco or myself speaking with you about the subject. But where were the witnesses? But there were witnesses for you. For you, there is your mentor who gave you an alibi. I see. It's for little Missy. She came to the courthouse during the recess. and was stopped by a security guard at the hallway. She gave him quite a whipping for that, or so I heard. I'm the daughter of Manfred von Karma. I will not be forcibly stopped by a guard or bailiff or anyone else. Wait, so basically the only reason Francisca bothered to show up today was because she found out that I was to be the replacement prosecutor? By the way, Miss Yu, what about everyone's alibis before Detective Gumshoe was assigned to guard duty? What about them? Have you looked into what people were doing during that span of time? Shh, what kind of idiot do you take me for? It doesn't matter when the killer went into lobby number 2. From the time we heard the gunshot, to the time Mr. Bad and I arrived on the scene as we dashed from lobby number 1, the only person who could have committed the only one who could have used time magic and stopped time was Detective Gumshoe. Yes, let's talk about when you and Detective Bad heard that gunshot, shall we? I suppose that if we go by your logic, then Detective Gumshoe is the only one. However, what if the crime scene had occurred at an entirely different time than when that gunshot you heard went off? What then? The gunshot was a trap meant to manipulate our perception of when the crime took place. Oh, she objected. Her voice actually does sound kind of nice. Sadly, her explanation is very lacking, Edgeworth. The gunshot we heard in lobby number 1, care to explain how that could have been fabricated? With the videotape!
Take that!
That tape! Yes, it's exactly what you think it is. This is the surveillance tape of Mr. L, the prosecution, presented in today's trial. This video was found loaded into video player in lobby number 2. That was connected to the large television that had its volume turned all the way up. You can't honestly mean that the sound we heard was the gunshot in the video. But I do, which leads me to my next point. The murders occurred much earlier than when anyone heard the gunshot. One thing I actually do really like about this case is the fact that a lot of the other cases I could see where they were going. This case, almost the entire time up until maybe 10 minutes ago, I was completely in the dark. I had no idea what was going on, in what direction the case would go, who to perfectly suspect. The murders occurred... Yeah, okay, we heard that. That's the only thing I can think of, too. Weren't you on the other side? You know, aren't you on her side? I'm on no one's side. Okay. After committing a double homicide, the killer took the surveillance video out from Mr. Faraday's evidence bag. Faraday. Turned the television's volume all the way up and left the video to play. It played from the beginning. It would take 30 minutes for the gunshot sound to come in. And since we now know that this method of time manipulation is possible, it opens up the possibility that the killer is someone other than Detective Gumshoe. Sounds from a television doesn't amount to much here. But of course, Mr. Prosecutor Edgeworth and little Miss Von Karma already knew that much from the very beginning, right? Of course we knew. Didn't we, Miles? Yes, of course. We know about the soundproof quality of this courthouse's rooms. Of course, I'm not about to admit we had no idea until a little while ago. That's right, and if the rooms are soundproof, then we should not have been able to hear it. And yet we heard the gunshot clear as day. And? That's it, end of story. But that's not it. How should I explain why she was able to hear a gunshot from a soundproof room? There was a hole in the wall. The window was open. There was actually one common point between lobby number 1 and lobby number 2. And it is that despite the fact that both rooms have air conditioners installed, a window was open in each. Now we know that the window in lobby number 2 was opened by the killer. However, a window in lobby number 1 was also opened. It's probably just a coincidence that they were both open at the same time. It was no mere coincidence, I assure you. Why was the window opened in lobby number 1? Oh, yeah, that's why... Okay, I get it now. That's why she asked Detective Bad to come in there specifically to lobby number 1 so she could open the window. Oh, I get it. I get it now. The answer is that a certain person who did something to cause the window to be opened. And that person who triggered that action, that person is the real guilty party. Oh, I didn't want it to be you, though. It was Kay. I'm the murderer. I'll get them all. Trucy's just off in the background. You can see her, like, head in this guy's like, yes, my child, follow my footsteps. Oh, look how grumpy Miss Von Karma looks. She's like, me, Jim. And this guy looks like Satan.
Take that.
Miss Callisto, you. I hereby formally indict you of the murder of Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rel. What? He's like, what? What? You indict me? You could just put the makeup on, right? It's not that hard. Did you miss your face or something? Are you serious, Miles? Why do you think she is the killer? I don't understand her motives just yet. But of course I'm serious. Because she is the only one who could have done it. Well, Miss Yu, do you still feel like laughing now? Of course I do, Edgeworth. My argument must not be tight enough yet. Although I never thought things would spiral into this. But I'll have you know I'm enjoying this dance quite a bit. I guess this means it's time for my own rebuttal now, right? Yes, it is. Bring it on. You argue that the window was opened, however, do you have proof it was I who did that? Furthermore, do you have proof that the tape was used in committing the crime? Frankly, I'm shocked at you for going around accusing people of murder like this, especially with logic as full of holes as yours. This is where it really starts. Mustn't let my guard down even for a second or the truth will blow away. Now it's time to put the patented Von Karma perfect proof to the tests. Edgeworth, such a fanboy. You argue that the window was open, however, do you have proof it was I who did that? I don't think we have the statement from... Oh, is it the perfume? Or is the perfume just used to test everything? I don't know. I'm gonna go with the perfume. By all the prosecutor gods in the world, please abide me this one piece of evidence. Do not falter. Yes. Head shake, finger waggle, wink wink. I'm sure you have seen this before, haven't you, Miss Yu? Edgeworth, I never knew you were into wearing that kind of perfume. Not exactly what I'd recommend for boys, you know. What? This isn't mine. That's alright, it's mine, and I received it from Detective Badge, you see. Miss Yu, you can pretend all you like, but we know at least this much for sure. That this bottle of perfume was given to Detective Bad by you. Because it gets really strong really fast? So, what about the perfume? Well, you in lobby number 1, you made a big show of spilling some of this perfume. That's according to Detective Bad. Oh, I know. You also knew that if you spilled it, he would naturally move to open a window. Oh, that's what it was. That's freaking smart. Come on now, I've already told you that it's all just a big coincidence. After we opened the window in lobby number 1, I just left it open, you know? So maybe it was just dumb luck that we heard the gum shot. The gum shot? The gum shot, it's my signature... The gum shot is my signature technique. I use it in basketball to win all the games. The timing of when you are going to spill the perfume is something you could control. And the most important fact about this case is when people were made to hear the shot. Furthermore, it would have been pointless if you didn't have an alibi for yourself at this time. You mean... Miss Yu, you are the one who called Detective Bad into lobby number 1. When you saw him bring Detective Gumshoe into the hallway. Is that correct? All of today's premeditated events could only have been thought up by you, Miss Yu. You accuse me of murder on the fact that I spilled a little perfume? Well, allow me to say this much. I couldn't have killed Mr. Faraday. Would you care to testify as to why? Look, I've had a lot of fun today, really. But I grow weary of this game of cat and mouse. Let's make this the last testimony and wrap this absurd case up once and for all. Bring it! Accusing someone of murder over a spilled bottle of perfume is a bit over the top, but I suppose forgery of evidence is to be expected of a disciple of Von Karma.
Wow, you gonna talk that way about Daddy? It's just... The thought of Edward calling Mr. Von Karma Daddy is cracking me up. I'm sorry, it's just so funny. I laugh so much. You must be my spirit animal. But I suppose forgery of evidence is to be expected of a disciple of Von Karma. In any case, it simply could not have been me who killed Mr. Faraday. After all, I don't even know where the knife that was used to kill him came from.
Miles, her testimony is flawless.
Yes, but so am I. But no matter what sort of trick she may try to pull, that she won't escape me. If I'm lacking in information, I'll just lie. Like Daddy did. Isn't that right, Daddy? I can't stop this now, it's too funny.
Accusing someone of murder over a spilled bottle of perfume is a bit over the top, but I suppose forgery of evidence is to be expected of a disciple of Von Karma. In any case, it simply could have not been me who killed Mr. Faraday. After all, I don't even know where the knife that was used to kill him came from. Miles, her testimony is flawless.
Yes, but no matter what sort of trick she may try to pull, she won't escape me. And if I'm lacking in evidence, I'll just lie again.
I think I actually already figured this out.
It was this one. After all, I don't even know where the knife that was used to kill him came from. Yet she... I believe she does, though. Because didn't she have something to do with handling the evidence? Because didn't the judge say that she took the evidence from him or something? Or that she said she was going to deliver it later? And she delivered it in the form of a key, correct? Or, yeah, one of them was a key and one of them was a knife. And did she make a point to do... I don't know. I feel like she does know, but I feel like that's too simple and it doesn't make any sense. I'm really debating on this now. Because a lot of the time I overthink everything in Ace Attorney and that comes to bite me eventually. But like, if this isn't the answer, what is? It doesn't really like line up in my head logically because, of course, I don't remember everything about the case. But it's the best I've got. I have nothing else. If I do this, it'll be a perfect testimony. And I will have not failed anything. So, let's try it. I mean, I still have 1 billion health points left. Like, what's it matter? I'm just trying to go for perfection, you know, the Von Karma way. Oh, God. For a second, I thought I restarted from the last save or something. And for some reason, it's not letting me present the evidence. Your statement is nothing... Oh, I messed it up. Your statement is nothing before this perfect piece of evidence. I don't think I'd call it perfect. Did I present it on the wrong one? If you don't try to verify it, how will you know? I guess so. Oh, I just love the way you say that with such confidence. But just as you said, you can only say something is perfect after you verified it. Then try presenting evidence to me again, but this time in a correct way, rookie. I was a fool to claim that it was perfect. You tried, Edgeworth. You really tried. Have anything to do with the organizer? Because we haven't had to use this yet at all. Oh, here's a little interesting tidbit in here. This is Faraday's organizer. It says, no matter how he may try to play it, as long as I have the Achigrasu's key, I can prove he's a phony. Well, that's interesting for later, but I'm going to have to press. I don't know what else to do. I think we already explained the significance of that earlier. He only confirmed that I did spill some perfume, but that's all. That you would accuse me of murder based on a simple spill. Don't you dare complain when I sue you for defamation of character. Do as you like, but it's for me I believe. You believe? I believe in Santa Claus. I believe that you are the true culprit in this case.
You're enthusiastic. Of course I should have guessed. Press! I formally request that you desist your attack against my mentor. Yes, or we'll sue you for defamation. All I'm doing is telling the truth. Well, maybe more like spreading gossip. Although your adamant denials are, shall we say, just adding to the fuel of the fire. How dare you! I swear on our combined cravats that we will bring you down. Say such a thing. Calm down, little girl. Don't let her get to you. I don't know why when he says boy or girl, he just turns into Hulk Hogan. Aw, why did you have to ruin my fun? Well, shall we continue? Press, I'm running out of presses. I'm getting really worried because I don't know what's going on. And why exactly could you not have killed him? I was just about to testify that. You're such an impatient man. I'm not really into that, you know, Edgeworth. Ah! Your preferences have no bearing on what is at hand. Feeling a little uncomfortable, are we? Don't worry, if you win this, bring on the Edgeworth x you pairing. Oh god. I could think of worse, honestly. I could think of a lot worse. Miss Yu, you'll desist in this tomfoolery and return to your testimony. And Miles, if you're going to lose your cool, then I won't show you any mercy. Ahem, sorry. Miss Yu, please continue with our testimony. Sure. As I was saying, I couldn't have possibly killed Mr. Faraday. Hold it! Wait, oh, this is weird. At this rate, the darkness will have me. Must not let the darkness win. This rate, she will inevitably escape. But if she was really the one who killed Mr. Faraday, then she must have known about the existence of the knife. I'm sorry, Miss Yu. Maybe you weren't aware. However, the knife that was used to kill Mr. Faraday was taken from his evidence bag. Miles! What do you think you're doing? I'm drawing the truth out of her. That's what I'm doing. Huh? But I don't recall a knife being presented at the trial earlier today. Well, I suppose that's because the evidence was something Mr. Faraday had yet to use. So that's what you're trying to do. Look, why don't you cut it out with the lies? I've already figured you out. There was no knife inside Mr. Faraday's evidence bag. The only evidence he had yet to present was the key the Yatagarasu had sent. And unless a key can magically turn into a knife, you really don't have a leg to stand on. Did you really think you could trap me? Come on now, be honest. Oh, she just trapped herself. You messed up. You messed up. So, I never intended to do such a thing. It was all a misunderstanding on my part. In any case, I wonder if you might append what you just said to your testimony. Sure, why not? I'll even say it as many times. Typo, I found a typo. It's I'll. I'll even say it as many times as you'd like. Or is that supposed to be her stuttering because she realized that we're up to something? I got you now.
Objection!
Oh, we win. You lose. Miss Yu, I wonder if you might take a look at this photo for me. This picture of the key the Yatagarasu sent to the police. However, while it may look like a key at first glance, it in fact has the secret ability to transform into a knife. Which means that what was inside Mr. Faraday's bag was both the Yatagarasu's key and the murderous knife. You knew that the key was inside Mr. Faraday's bag, did you not? Yes. Well, with the Yatagarasu's key alone, it's more than possible to kill Mr. Faraday. Do you understand now? Just knowing of the existence of the Yatagarasu's... Okay, cut me off. Girl, what is up with you? I still haven't had a good look at it. Showing it to me from that far away, you could be lying for all I know. You would even now still feign ignorance. I'm not feigning anything. But we can't have you accusing me of a crime with false evidence now, can we? Hey, Mr. Von Karma. I've heard some very interesting rumors about him. Are you mocking my papa? Don't talk that way about Daddy. Now take a good look. This piece of evidence is more than real. Wow, who knew there was such a trick to this thing? Are you satisfied now? But of course, you knew from the very beginning, didn't you? You knew that the knife and the Yachigrasu's key are one and the same. Otherwise, someone like you, who isn't a member of law enforcement and who would never have been privy to this trick, would have never known about it to begin with. Burn, Edgeworth. Furthermore, the something that the Yachigrasu sent to the police. How did you have knowledge as to what it was? Actually, I heard it from Mr. Faraday. Just before he dragged Mr. Rell off, he told me. Oh, that's right, I almost forgot. He also told me about the key turning to a knife at that time. But he didn't know. Wait, did he? But he didn't actually tell me about how the key transforms. What you were saying is simply not possible. Oh, the organizer, am I supposed to bring that up now? Oh, and why not? Because Mr. Faraday himself didn't know about the hidden knife within the key. But yeah, okay. I'm surprised it didn't make me present that. But within these pages, he mentions nothing about a knife. I'm not sure he would have written everything in his organizer, you know. Wouldn't something of this importance be better left to oral communication? Unfortunately, that is also impossible. Because Detective Bad didn't know about the knife aspect either. Shh. What would have been highly classified information even within the police force. And it's something that even the lead detective on the case didn't know. Why would Mr. Faraday have felt the need to share such information with the opposition? Yeah, I guess he wouldn't have much of a reason to. Looks like I have a pretty lame excuse, huh? How can you laugh at a time like this? She probably just realized the flaw in her logic and is actually in panic over it. But that's not something we need to concern ourselves with. I suppose you're right. Miss Yu, I'd like to state that I also know how you know the real nature of the knife. Do you know? Well, why don't you put your money where your mouth is and show me? Oh, I will, and I'll wipe that smile off your face by the time we're through. This is it, the moment of truth, the secret beyond the Yachigrasu's key. Only one person could have had knowledge of it from the get-go. Who would know from the start that the Yachigrasu's key could change into a knife? Kay? Would Kay have known? I feel like Kay may have known. Wait, who's the black figure again? Oh, okay, we're gonna reveal the fact that he's the Yachigrasu.
Take that!
There was only one person who could have known about the dual nature of the key. And that is... That person is who sent the that is the person who sent the Yachigrasu's key to the police. That is to say, the Yachigrasu herself. Wait, she's the Yachigrasu? Are you saying that this lawyer is the great thief Yachigrasu? What? Wait, is she Kay's mom? Sorry, I'm what? I don't understand. What is happening? Whatever. You know, whatever. Who cares? Miss Yu, you used Mr. Rell to lure Mr. Faraday into a trap, didn't you? You who profess to bear a grudge against criminals. Why? Why would you do something like this? Okay, you can stop laughing now. It's creepy. I thought it was kind of cute at first, but it's kind of creepy now. Now for the transformation. Who would have thought that you, a stupid rookie prosecutor, would see through me? You're sending the biggest chill down my spine right now, Mr. Edgeworth. This feeling of thrill. It's even greater than when I sneak into someplace. You? You? You killed Faraday? Oh man, he's sweating like crazy. Why? Answer me, Callisto Yu. Callisto Yu, huh? That's not my real name. Because my real identity is, yes, the great thief Yachigrasu. But that's not your real name either. Let me tell you something, Edgeworth. Mr. Faraday was one difficult man to deal with. For you see, he had discovered my true identity, which is why I had to erase him from the world of law. I made Rel an offer and acquittal for a little favor in return. All he had to do was accuse Mr. Faraday of being the Yatagrasu in court. But once we entered the recess, Rel was dragged off by Mr. Faraday, which threw my plan into a complete mess. I chased after them and eavesdropped on them through a crack in the door. That Rel caves only to two things, money and authority, just as all thugs do. I feared my plan was going to be ruined if Mr. Faraday held on to Rel any longer. Plus, if I had let them continue on the way they were, I would have been found out. That's why I had no choice. I had to kill them both.
But didn't you say that you despise criminals?
Whoosh. But do I really?
You. Have you forgotten about the KG8 incident too?
Maybe. What sort of woman would...
So then it was your plan to kill Mr. Faraday with the very evidence that you sent.
Well, I had a good idea of what Mr. Faraday was going to do. I anticipated that Mr. Faraday was going to prove that Rel wasn't the Yatagrasu, by using this Yatagrasu's key as evidence and that he would bring it with him. Which is why I thought to use the knife portion. With a weapon as well designed as this, no one would be the wiser, because who in their right mind would think something like this could be a weapon? I casually entered lobby number 2 on the pretext that I had to talk with Mr. Faraday. And in order to get in with him, I pretended to be worried about something. He then let me hold the Yatagrasu's key, just like that. He never noticed that I had changed the key into a knife inside the plastic bag. And he didn't have the chance to take note of the knife that took his life.
How could you kill him?
I knew him for a long time, you know. At the very least, I thought to give him a quick and painless death.
But if you killed Mr. Faraday first, then there was no need to kill Mr. Rel as well.
I believe I mentioned why when we were placing Detective Gumshoe under arrest. Something about having accidentally created an eyewitness. And how that led to the killer... And how that led to the killer to think about setting them up as though they'd killed each other.
And the trick with the surveillance tape.
Yes, I hadn't actually planned to use a gun. The risk was too high that I'd be caught. However, that's when I remembered the existence of a surveillance tape, which is why I had Rel help me set up the crime scene. After all was said and done, I rewarded him for all his hard work with a bullet.
You're a defense attorney, aren't you? How could you betray your client?
Client? If you want to talk about who was a client of whose first, it was me.
What?
I was the client in the murder of the Cadopian Embassy staff member, Died Man.
You ordered a hit job? Oh my god. This woman is malicious.
Haha. You still haven't figured it out, Mr. Bad. I had Died Man killed because he was about to give away info about the smuggling ring. Now, who exactly do you think would benefit from such an assassination?
It can't be. You're...
That's right. I'm a member of the smuggling ring.
What? How could this... You don't mean you're working with Manny Cochin too, do you?
Maybe, maybe not. Guess you'll never know. The Yatagrasu claims to be noble, but you're just another cold-blooded murderer. That's right, little girl. The Yatagrasu's just another killer.
Be quiet, you. Yatagarasu! You can run from the law, but you'll never escape it. I'm still curious as to what he had Kay run off to go find. So just humbly accept the judgment of this court.
Hey, Edgeworth. Did you know the Yatagarasu has 3 legs? Do you know why that is?
Oh.
Is it supposed to be 3 people, maybe? I don't know why I'm thinking of this, but I'm thinking, like, the Yatagarasu's whole thing has to do with her being the Yatagarasu, Mr. Faraday also being the Yatagarasu, and Kay having to be it? I don't know what that means. No, let me tell you. It means that the Yatsugarasu has more than one razor sharp way to do our work.
Oh. Oh, God. All right.
Wait, where the hell did the judge go? Is he just not here right now?
Well, this is a new one. This hasn't happened before.
You really are too naive, Edgeworth. You even handed the Yatsugarasu's key right to me without a second thought. Everything may not have gone according to plan, but I'll still gladly take it.
You mean the key was your real target?
Even after I gave you such great advice, didn't I tell you to always keep a good eye on a criminal? Or you may regret what comes of your negligence.
You two get down.
Eek! Ah! My body, I can't move. Hey, mister, to your right.
You!
Did she actually just shoot Edgeworth? Oh, no, she's fine.
What was that?
Oh, did she tell him to jump to his right? Okay, I understand now. I was just wondering what that whole to your right thing was about. She's just like, to your right. I thought she was gonna throw Edgeworth a gun and Edgeworth was gonna shoot her back.
That would have been awesome.
Or a rapier, as I said earlier, but sadly, this is not the Ace Attorney I dream of in my head. Oh, you're right, Francisca. I'm perfectly fine, Miles. Her voice is shaking, but it looks like she's unharmed. Where did Kay go? That's a gunshot. Another one? Oh yeah, I noticed all three of them went in the same direction. That's extremely dangerous. Oh no, is it going to be like Kay faked her death or something? Sorry, but it looks like she got away. I called the precinct. They should have a perimeter set up soon. Detective Bad, are you alright? I heard a gunshot. I'm okay, just got another hole in my jacket. He may say he's fine, but he looks quite shaken. But more importantly, boy, I mean, Mr. Edgeworth, Miss Von Karma, are you two hurt? I'm absolutely fine. I'm also alright, thanks to Kay. Speaking of Kay, where is she? I don't know. She's just sort of disappeared. I'll go look for her. Oh, and hey, Detective Gumshoe. Yes, sir. Detective Bad, sir. I'm sorry, I doubted you. Don't worry, sir. It's not your fault. Well, I lied to you guys too, after all. I heard about what happened from Kay. Lying while giving a testimony is unforgivable. But in this case, you are protecting Kay and her feelings. Looks like you just might have what it takes to be a real detective. Now don't you ever lose that detective spirit, okay? You got it, Pops. Pops? Watched one too many detective dramas recently, have we? Way to single-handedly destroy the cheery atmosphere with one snarky comment. I should get back to the investigation. I swear I'll catch you if it's the last thing I do. Be careful, Detective Bannon. Take care. Thanks. While I'm off, maybe we'll run into each other again someday. Salute to you. Thanks a bunch, pal. You're the best. You really did find out the truth behind everything. Yes, well, I'm glad we solved everything before we were taken to prison. I'm still depressed. I can't believe how much trouble I caused you in my testimony, Detective Gumshoe. It was no problem, really. I mean, I lied too, so I didn't help anything. It's really not your fault, Your Honor. Well, even if we didn't have His Honor's testimony, I think that lawyer would have found another way to get you convicted on her behalf. Yeah, I can't believe I was about to get fired during my first week as a detective. Well, so long as you're not fired, you should work hard and give it all you have and perform your duties well. Oh, and one more thing. Kay left a present for you with me. She did? Oh, what is it? What was it that Kay left with me for the proof of your friendship? Sweet roll. Swiss roll. Take that! It's a courthouse special Swiss roll. I can really have it? Yes, it's a present meant for you after all. Thanks a bunch. You have no idea how happy this makes me, pal. I'm gonna eat this right now. Sure, go ahead. No eating in the court, you... God damn it, I have to clean that up now. Sorry, sir. The Swiss Rolls Detective... the Swiss Rolls Detective Gumshoe and Kay bought together. While the one Kay saved never reached her father, it would appear that her sentiments have touched the heart of this detective. He's so happy, it's as though he's having a welcome back celebration of his own. When I was asked by Kay to give it to him. Whoop, that was good, pal. Can't believe I got to eat 2 of these delicious things in one day. It's like I'm in a Swiss roll paradise or something. I gotta thank Kay myself. Hey, wait, where is she? You only noticed just now? Was his mind not present when we discussed her earlier? Detective Bad left to go search for her earlier. Maybe you should go join him. Yeah, you betcha, pal. I'm gonna go help him. Oh, but first... You know what, pal? Actually, I guess I shouldn't be so rude to you anymore, huh? Yeah! That's the piece of art I wanted to see. I'm gonna stick right by your side from now on, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. I sense nothing but a most troublesome relationship from that ominous statement. We should go home too, Miles. We have to hurry and report what has happened to Papa. Agreed. Well, I'm afraid we must be going now, Detective. Roger, sir. Don't you worry. I'll investigate the next case we're on real well. I'll, be counting on you. The scent of trouble is definitely in the air. Thus, like a bad dream, my first outing at the court came to a disturbing end. A few months later, I was finally able to properly stand in court as a prosecutor. But the detective in charge of investigation was, as I dreaded, Detective Gumshoe. After that, he became my direct subordinate. I've tried, but words fail to describe the immeasurable suffering he has caused me. But I suppose that's just how things are. As for the little girl who suddenly disappeared, she's now... Is it gonna say dead? Or is it gonna say it's her right in front? Okay. I thought maybe she would fake her death or something, and then she'd reappear later. So, do you remember now? Yes. I remember everything. Kay. It's been a while. Kay, you sure grew up a lot. Of course, but thanks goodness. I thought you two had totally forgotten about me. You know, I was really worried about you after that. Where have you been all this time? Got me, I didn't know you cared. After my father died, I went to go live with my mother's relatives. They live really far away, so I wasn't really able to come back here all that much. Oh, is that what happened? Well, I'm just glad you're alright. So does it all make sense now? You betcha it does. Oh, you know what? I was going through my father's bookshelves recently and... Actually, there's still a number of things that don't make sense, Kay. Huh? First of all, why did you come all this way out to see me? And second, why are you calling yourself the Yatagarasu? The Yatagarasu is Callisto Yu, the woman who killed your father. No, you're wrong. The real Yatagarasu is my father. Yeah, it was my okay, that makes sense again. Mr. Faraday was the Yatagarasu? Like I said, I was going through my father's bookshelves recently, and I found a secret diary hidden amongst his books. I have no regrets in choosing to walk the path of the Yatagarasu. That's what was written in my diary. That's how I would know for sure. But that's impossible. What's with that look? You don't believe me? It wasn't just the expression on my face. It clearly said it was impossible just now. Alright then. How do you explain this? It's a way of disarming any security systems of the user's choosing. Yep. That's a little thief. Truth be told, this is the Yatagarasu's greatest secret. And this little gizmo was used by my father. Wow, Mr. Faraday wasn't just a great prosecutor, he was a really great thief, huh? Yeah, my father worked really hard to steal the truth. But he was killed, and the Yatagarasu was no more. But despite that, the Yatagarasu has been spotted again recently. Someone other than you. Here, Mr. Edgeworth. Take a look at this article.
The Yatagarasu sent the embassy a calling card.
Yeah, meaning this person's a fake. I'm almost certain that Callisto U Lady is behind this. Because the real Yatagarasu would never send something like a gaudy card out. But the Yatagarasu did send a white card along with anything to be publicized.
That's what Detective Bad told me 7 years ago, if memory serves.
Well, as soon as I heard the news, I got all wound up and I knew I couldn't just let go. I searched you out so I could obtain the truth behind the Yatagarasu. Because if anyone can help me find it, I figured it's you, Mr. Edgeworth.
So you're saying that I have your father's and Miss Yu's identities backwards?
Yes, it's because the real Yatagarasu is noble to the end. And I want to revive the real noble Yatagarasu. If I don't, my father will never be able to rest in peace.
Okay. So honorable. I don't care what anyone else thinks. I'll always be there to cheer you on, pal. Even if you are honorable, a thief is a thief. If you are plotting to commit a crime, then I'm afraid I can't be complicit. Mr. Edgeworth. Oh, you guys are not making this easy for me. Who am I supposed to support now?
Mr. Edgeworth, what I want from you is not to steal something. What I want is the arrest of that evil woman.
An evil woman? You mean Callisto Yu?
I think it's too hard for me to catch her all by myself.
This is actually a really cool moment. I really enjoy this.
But I thought that since you were able to expose her for who she is, then maybe. Please, Mr. Edgeworth, won't you help me?
Do you have money? Do you have anything? Come to think of it, I do believe I owe you.
Huh? Owe me for what?
When Miss Yu made her escape, it was you who saved my life. Furthermore, you helped me with the investigation today. I'm not so rude as to leave favors unrepaid.
Then you mean...
Yes. The case has been weighing down my soul ever since that fateful day. Perhaps the time has come to settle things once and for all. If you don't intend to sully your hands in a crime, then I believe I can help you. What I found weird is that Lang showed up and disappeared without doing anything. Like, I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
Mr. Edgeworth, thank you.
Yay, Mr. Edgeworth, sir! Isn't that great, Kay?
Yeah, it sure is, Gummy.
Even though you had completely forgotten about her until just now. What is with their chummy relationship? The great thief Yatagarasu. After all that time, the true identity of the thief sank back back into the darkness. Byron Faraday, Callisto Yu, and Kay Faraday. The phantasmagorically changing the identity of the great thief Yatagarasu. And the Yatagarasu's real goal. It would all come to light the day after I made that promise. I expected a giant montage of them doing, like, research and stuff. But I guess that's not what we're getting right now. We are finally on the last case. Oh my goodness. I'm actually really excited for this. It was weird because Apollo Justice did the same thing, but I don't feel like it succeeded as much as where everything was supposed to build up to this last moment in this last case. And I guess there are technically filler cases, like, aside from learning about the smuggling ring and the airplane one, we really didn't even need to know anything about that. But for the most part, I feel like it's all correctly building up. I'm not losing track of what's going on very easily. There's not too many characters being introduced to a point in which I am losing track of who did what. I think this game is very well put together, and if people are saying the second game is even better, I'm just so excited to get to that too. Although it won't be instantly once again. But anyways, if you guys liked the video, please leave a like. I realized I recorded this for 2 hours straight, so it's probably going to be separated into 2 videos anyway. But if you like the video, please leave a like. It helps out a lot. And if you want to become a member of the Dust Brigade, just click subscribe. Thank you and have a wonderful day. Riding out.